I want you to imagine something. I want you to imagine that you're a boy, born on December 1st, 1976. You were born in the United States, but your family moved to Saudi Arabia when you were young. You went to school at an American school in Switzerland. Because your family moved around so much, and you met such a wide variety of people, you developed a passion for travel and for understanding those around you. Your peers nominated you to be a peer counselor because you were so easy to talk to and because you genuinely cared about others. After you graduated from high school, you decided to move back to your parents' hometown for college, where you studied political science, foreign relations, and languages at the University of Wyoming in Laramie. You brought with you your passion for equality and fair treatment of all human beings. But not everyone agreed with you. On the 6th of October, 1998, you were abducted from your college campus by two men who dragged you into a field just outside of Laramie. They tied you to the post of a fence and beat you, over and over again, with the end of a pistol until your face was covered in blood. And then they left. You were tied to that fence in the frigid October air, bloodied and beaten and crying for 18 hours. 18 hours of excruciating solitude and pain until a bicyclist found you, almost mistaking you for a scarecrow. You're rushed to a hospital in Fort Collins, Colorado, and despite the best efforts of the medical staff, you die on the 12th of October, with your loving and heartbroken family beside you, wondering why this happened to you. The simple and horrifying answer is that it happened because you were gay. What was your name? Matthew Shepard. The death of Matthew Shepard was tragic, and it struck a chord with a country that had previously turned a blind eye to assaults on LGBTQ+ people. Communities began to beg for change. The Matthew Shepard Foundation was created to provide support for LGBTQ+ youth. It would take time, but in 2009, President Barack Obama would take a step toward change.
This afternoon, I signed into law the Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act.
This act made hate crimes punishable under federal legislation. No state would be able to ignore crimes like these any longer. On June 26, 2015, the United States Supreme Court made a groundbreaking decision.
It is time to give our loving gay and lesbian couples the right to a marriage license.
Ayes 33, nays 29.
They recognized that marriage was a human right that should be given to all people, regardless of their gender or sexual orientation, and the Marriage Equality Act was passed. The United States and other countries around the world are making leaps and bounds toward equality for LGBTQ+ people, but we can't stop here. According to the 2013 National Climate Survey conducted by the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network, over 50% of LGBTQ+ students felt unsafe in their schools because of their sexual orientation. And just under 50% of all LGBTQ+ students reported being victims of harassment based on their sexual orientation. The rates are much higher for students who identify as transgender. Students in public or religious schools reported having access to fewer resources, less support from staff and administrators, and higher accounts of homophobic or hateful language than students from private, non-religious schools. There are organizations like the Matthew Shepard Foundation, the Trevor Project, and the Gay, Lesbian, and Straight Education Network that are providing support for LGBTQ+ teens, and who are fighting for schools to recognize the importance of assuring the safety and support of all of their students, starting with the education of faculty to create more open-minded and accepting environments. Whether it's creating gay-straight alliances, including more LGBTQ+ inclusive material in the curriculum, or providing students with access to gender-neutral bathrooms, there are hundreds of secondary and post-secondary schools nationwide that are moving toward equality. But remember, change begins with individual people, just like you.